episode number. We're at 30-something, I'm pretty sure. Welcome to the Monday game, also known as Heroes of the Hearth, episode whatever. Last we left off, who wants to take it from there? Wow, don't nobody talk at once.
Victory celebration in Gano, of which I learned we own. Well, we finance, anyway. Traveling to different villages to see about this group of rectums followers.
That's Regnum.
Rectum, close enough.
It all depends on your pronunciation and dialect.
True.
Came to Montan. Heroes welcome. Went and saw the prophetess, if you will. Got some insight on that. Found the main continent on a mirror. And now formulating a plan to seek the followers of Rectum and Montan.
Sorry, it just sounds so funny. Okay, where are you guys plotting?
As far as I know, we never left the prophet's chamber.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think we left off there.
So I would assume this is as safe a place as any, because I mean she's 300 plus years old. God knows how much older. So she could probably sound dampen or some crazy shit.
Out of curiosity's sakes, Thrain, roll a wisdom check.
Oh boy.
With advantage.
Oh yay. Meh.
Okay. You feel as if you're being watched.
Alright, I'll look over to the prophetess. Who's watching us?
She looks confused. She waves her hand over the crystal ball. And then you feel the impression leave. She goes, can't quite piece it out. Definitely someone of great power.
No, probably just the false god then. How you doing over there at Cronon's? Is that sarcophagus still comfortable?
Oh, that's too funny.
Anyways, spying idiots notwithstanding, we must try to lure them out in the open, I believe. Maybe find somebody in town that can infiltrate their ranks, because they don't know, they might know of us, but they certainly won't know of whoever joins us, or we hire, or whatever it takes. And there's your in.
We'll get to him in a minute. Thrain, you get a message from Glenn, via message, that he needs to see you immediately. There is someone here looking for you.
Huh. Esperini, please come up with a plan off of what I have said, or if anybody else wants to. Let me know how that goes. I must leave for just a moment. Be right back.
Sure.
And I'll exit and head to the glorious goods.
Wondrous goods, wondrous goods.
Sounds better as Glenn's glorious goods.
I know, but
GGG.
it's way too close.
That's what I'm calling it, alright?
Okay, fine. Takes you a few minutes to get there. Meanwhile, what do you guys do while you're kind of sitting there just staring at the prophetess who's looking at you guys?
Well, I'll start talking. So I'll still start talking about the whole plan thing, because I guess she was able to block it. I don't know her very well, but if Thrain trusts her, you know how that goes.
Gotcha.
Now remember what our plan was. We were going to come in from the south. Do we have that map up, by the way?
I think he was talking about our plan of the village. Or you can talk about this one too.
Map's up now.
Yeah, we'll talk about this one. So we were going to come in on this one right here with the dock, I believe, somewhat offshore by just a touch, and then try and infiltrate the city or see what is going on. From what we remember, we believe that all of the townspeople are actually undead of some sort.
So, we need to stock up on some radiant weapons.
Well, I've been thinking
Just in case.
this lich, I'm pretty sure, does not exert control over the entire 2 islands on his own whim. He must have subordinates. Even though these people are damned, basically, that might have been not have been their own choosing or will, if we could possibly find one of his lower people that are controlling, let's say, said village, then if we were able to free them of that, maybe they would help us in return. And we shouldn't have to kill everything we run into, correct?
I agree, but uh, just in case. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm not against it, but I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure these people, even though they're milling around like they don't realize they're dead, or they do and they're just doing their thing, doesn't mean that they wouldn't want to be free of it. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Blazil has not told me anything or talked to me lately, so nor have I convened with him. But it's just an option I want to throw out on the table.
Okay. Hop to Thrain real quick. Thrain, as you get there, there's a gentleman wearing black robes. Um, it's a hooded cloak. He has his hood up, and he seems to be standing there right near Glenn, who Glenn is not his usual friendly self, his usual flamboyant and, boisterous self. He seems kind of reserved and quiet and watching this individual very closely.
Okay. I will actually sneak in, blend in with the crowd, if you will, vanish, whatever you want to call it. Get a better look at whatever it is.
Okay. All right, yeah, you easily blend in with a few of the customers that come in and just kind of wander around. As you get a better look at him, he's got the followers of Regdom symbol proudly displayed.
Interesting. I'm gonna send a message to Glenn, telling him I'm actually in the store, and what is it that this gentleman wishes to talk to me about.
Glenn looks at this hooded figure and goes, "Pardon me, sir, I have to deal with something over here. I have to." And he walks off, off to the side somewhere, probably out of earshot. You get a message back. He is delivering a letter to you, and he is to await a response. That is all I was able to get from him before he demanded your presence.
Demanded, did he?
Yes.
Okay. And with that, I'll get within, we'll say, 30 feet of him. Well, yeah, I'm stealthed. I'll quietly draw my bow, knock 3 arrows, and point him to the back of his head, and say, "Don't turn around, but who are you to demand an audience with someone like me? You turn around, you die."
He holds up what looks like a folded letter. And you might want to read this before you do anything else.
I'll lighten my stance a bit and let the arrows come down, and I'll place them, my bow on my back, my arrows back, and I'll keep my hand on my longsword. As I approach, I take the letter from his hand And while he's still facing, I guess, Glenn, or whatever's back there, I'll read it.
Okay. Under the handouts, it's called Missive. That's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Everybody can read it if you want, but this is, it'd be out of character knowledge for everyone but Thrain.
Oh my god. Man, will the fucking city burn.
I'm to wait a response and deliver the message to him. As you have read in the letter, if any harm befalls me, well, use your imagination.
Well, there's just one problem with your little plan. That is something I know of Sarah. You will be dealt with in a minute. And, I will... Again, stealth, since he knows I'm there. I'm gonna get back a bit, so he can't hear what I'm saying, if you will.
Okay.
I'll do another one, because it's not an advantage anymore. Well, same thing. Okay. I'm contacting Google to see if she can tell me what the location of
That's so
Sarah is.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to detect her presence. She was on Thelsalion one moment, and then the next moment gone from my scans.
Alright, Messenger, what exactly work are you trying to accomplish? Because you know if you're trying to summon the false god, I will have to kill all of you, regardless of the outcome.
We could care less about Chronons, and it's not me that is trying to finish their work.
I'm growing impatient, dickhead. Tell me what I want to know, and you can leave here. Alive, or semi-alive, or whatever it is you are.
Just kind of chuckles. I'm to await a response to the message you were given.
Well, how am I supposed to know if I can allow whoever this is to continue their work if I don't know what it is?
I was merely told to wait a response. If you have no response, that is enough, and I will return and let them know.
Interesting.
Oh, and in case you think we're kidding, he walks over and pulls out a small ring, sets it on the counter, takes a few steps back. It's a very familiar ring, Thrain.
Man. Give me a second to think of how to do this, because I'm in two directions.
Okay. Alright, well, Thrain takes a minute to think. Do you guys leave the prophetess's room, or do you stay there? Thrain's been gone a little bit.
Do we know where Thrain went?
No, he didn't tell you.
That's how you, and ladies and gentlemen, and that is how you die in any horror movie.
This isn't a horror movie. This is one of those great love stories.
Every
the
every
DM
love
loves
story.
to kill you, but that's a love story.
So every horror movie is a love story.
To the DM. I'm going to ask the lady, the seer, do you know where he possibly has went, if you mind me asking? I know you don't know me, but I figure at least I can ask.
He went to Glenn's Wondrous Goods, where he's speaking
Well,
with a
maybe,
very cloaked figure who is even protected from my sight.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anything we can do for you, by the way, since you've helped us out this much?
She shakes her head. Just watch yourselves. I fear dark times for you were coming.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, as you guys start to head out, Thrain, since he finally figured it out.
You may or may not be really upset with this.
Just remember,
I'm gonna
consequences.
ask him to. I'll pull out the mirror and say, "Can you show me that you have them?"
He looks at you. I'm merely here to deliver the message and await a response. The ring should have been proof enough. If you don't believe it, that is not our problem. You'll find out one way or the other if we speak truth.
All right, mirror, show me Sarah.
Doesn't show up.
Okay. Well. I'll unhook one of my the short sword. It's just a regular short sword that I picked up off a body, and hand it to him. Tell your boss I'll be there soon.
Very well. He takes a sword, turns around, and walks out.
Put an arrow in his knee. A message.
As soon as he's out, Glenn have a fireplace?
Yes.
I'll speak to it. Sir, if you can hear me, can you tell me where you are?
Nothing. Fire burns normally.
Interesting. So we have a mage. You can probably hear me, you probably just can't respond. Well, you're resourceful. Stay alive. We'll be there soon.
Okay. Just as you say that, the rest of your group walks into Glen.
Where is
hello.
the shrouded figure?
Gone.
The seer told us about it, but that was about it. Is everything okay?
It's a follower of the undead abomination, and he apparently has Sarah and a couple other important people hostage. I am not sure how. I am not sure of any proof other than this ring that I gave to her. I'll show it and then put it in my pocket. However, he would not tell me what plans they were. Only that they could care less about Chronons, but something tells me, even if Chronons is not allowed to escape, this one fancies himself a god, and is even worse than Chronons in that sense, because at least Chronons is considered to be a god. This thing is a wannabe. So, and he's got very important people, and he's stupid enough to kidnap them and create an undead army. So, regardless of the outcome, I'll clear my throat. We need to eradicate this evil.
True enough. Can I see the ring? This is Malin talking.
I'll hand it to you.
I detect magic on the ring.
Oh, it's pretty powerful magic. There is no. From what you can tell by the look of the ring, I know this isn't in detect magic, but I'm giving you a little leeway here. From what you can tell, there is no spying type aspect. There's no scrying to it or anything like that. It's just a powerful magical ring.
Can I hold on to it? I can do some things to try and locate either the person or find out more.
Sure. You lose it. Make Karn guide you. I smile.
See, this is why I occasionally... Never mind. And I tuck the ring away into my top right pocket, like inside of my shirt.
You're going to see Esperini not looking very happy at the moment. Not saying nothing, just not very happy.
Got a plan. Second.
So, let me understand this. So, do you basically tell us what you just told us, or actually let us read the letter, basically?
Oh, I'll hand you the letter if you want to see it.
Okay. Under
So, I'll
handout.
read it.
Yeah, under handouts it's called missive.
So, you want to storm the island that contains Sarah and multiple other people and try and save her and slay the thing that is not working with Cronon.
No. What I want to do is destroy it, period, regardless of who it has or doesn't have. If it's not working with Chronons, as the seer has told us, it fancies itself a god. And if Chronons isn't allowed to escape, I can sort of see that thing trying to take its place, if you will.
But now we would be fighting two fronts. Yes?
Last report from Sarah, the Chronon's army was in full retreat. He does not have the keys needed to escape from his prison, which leads me to believe we have a new threat. But I am all ears if you have a different opinion.
Should we wait for Sarah and the others to come back first, if you think that is a possibility? Or do you think that's just a ruse so he will still do whatever he wants with them? That is up to you. I just want to give you my opinion, is all.
Okay, well, the mirror cannot see her, which means it is being blocked by magical means, which means that 90% chance, I'd say, he is around that mage-ish thing. Secondly, they have that ring, and that is her family signet ring, if I was told correctly. Thirdly, if the seer says there is a new threat, and there are whispers around of a new threat, somebody's got to know something. So perhaps not assault the island just yet, but find out exactly what this being hopes to achieve.
So then we should go to his island, like we were talking about, question what we can, and not try to basically physically attack unless we are attacked, correct?
I would assume that would be a good course of action, considering we don't know its rules just yet, if you will.
Because reading the letter, if you look at it closely, it says, if you choose to allow me to finish my work, they'll be returned to you unharmed. As long as we don't interrupt his work, then it shouldn't be considered a threat that we showed up on the island, unless we start killing everything, correct?
Yes, but then again, he may not mean what he says, and he may, do his own thing, his own bidding.
This
However,
is true.
if it is a man of its word, then yes, I don't think showing up at the island would. It might distract him, but we're not there necessarily to stop him. We just want to know what it is he's doing.
As long as we don't go there and start our own bloodbath on our own accord to tip his hand is all. I do not want to see more innocents slain, and obviously Sarah has a deep connection to you anyway.
The mission must always take precedence. That is Khan's will. However, I thank you for your consideration and my heartfelt thanks for your sympathies.
Anytime.
So, next course of action, I believe our ship should be ready. Titan, yes?
It should be.
Glenn approaches
Well.
you guys. I may
Well.
have a way to help you.
Ever
I'm
so
listening.
useful, my friend. How are you still alive?
lots of potions.
I see. Well, by all means, please share.
From what I gather, now I haven't read the little note you were handed, but from what I gather, it sounds like this new bad guy, and if you are correct, probably attempts to ascend to godhood.
Interesting. Interesting. Allow me, gentlemen, and Glenn. Well, after you're done speaking, of course. I must go commune with someone of importance.
If that's the case, then he may be a bigger threat than you realize. He actually may be a bigger threat than Chronon's. As we all know, and I can confirm, Chronon's forces are in full retreat. They are tucking tail and running back to their home turf to lick their wounds and rebuild their forces. I don't see them
In
being
Nullbind.
in just about everywhere. There are some places where they're being a little more stubborn, but they are being rooted out with the combined effort of the United Front. It won't be long now before the continents are once again cleared. But I would say that you have officially neutralized Chronon's attempts at rebirth, so to speak. And it sounds like maybe this new guy has gotten under the radar due to the fact that everybody was focused on Chronon's, which is a more scary aspect, which means he's a much more intelligent being and a lot more strategic.
Yeah, we will see.
In other words, he allowed everybody to stay focused on Chronon's and his forces and did his thing behind the scenes.
Beyond that, I'm worried. Well, this is Malin. Beyond that, I'm worried that if he's just asking for time right now, if we give him enough, he'll just reach a level where we may not actually be able to affect him at all. If he steps from wanting to be a god to being a demigod or something like that, then what can we do?
I am not trying to stop the party from doing that. That's not my goal. I'm just trying to get clear and concise. And he'll pause. Rules of engagement that we may follow in this, because this is a little more touchy compared to some of our previous missions.
Malin nods at you.
One wrong move, and many people that we know die. One or a few right moves at the right time, we may be able to get both of them at once.
Glenn looks at you. If you recall, the only way everyone was able to stop Chronon's is the original time is that the Guardians, in a sense, gave up their souls. I know that's not a very worthwhile prospect to you all, but that is one of the ways. If you do not get to this gentleman in time, he may very well become a god, and then there will be pretty much nothing you can do about it.
There's always first time for killing God.
He kind of chuckles. It's not as easy as you think.
It might not be as hard either.
Possibly.
I can't imagine offending all the actual gods and having them against you would be a very smart decision either.
There are certain rules that must be followed, and unfortunately, ascension to godhood through mortal means, I don't think breaks any rules. But that doesn't mean they have to like it, however.
Well then, we've come to an impasse. We take the time to gather information and risk having to annihilate a god, or we take a sustainable amount of casualties versus a no doubt massive amount of casualties.
I have been in touch with a unique associate. Um, he's done some interesting work for me before. He may be beneficial to your progress if you will speak with him.
Well, I believe we could take any asset that we can get at this point.
Very well. I will get a hold of him. But if you have things to do, it will take a little bit. So if you have things to do, I would recommend preparing for any choices you make. I would definitely be fully prepared for what might await you.
How much time?
Day max.
Well, gentlemen, take a day, get ready, make sure that whatever planning you decide to do is kept away from the prying eyes of the shambling corpses that inhabit the ropes, yeah?
I'll go over and I go, so can I get some? Does he have weapons and stuff here, or is this just more of like a general store?
It is an everything store. He's got a lot of stuff here. He's got weapons, he's got figurines, he's got items. I mean, you name it, he's got it. This is basically your one-stop magic shop.
Has he made what we talked about last session?
Oh, fuck, I don't even remember. Remind me in a message.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect.
I kind of look over and I'm like, so we're going to be fighting a bunch of undead. So anything with radiant damage would be awesome.
I can... Well, for holy things, you're probably going to have to go to clerics for. I don't carry a lot of that stuff. I may have maybe one or two items, but your best bet is to go to clerics and see what they can do to help you out in that aspect.
How about armor and shields and things like that?
Got plenty of that stuff here. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for. I think I might have a few things that will help you against undead, but not much. I carry more of
Well, what's your issue?
I carry more of the arcane type practices rather than the divine.
Would you perhaps have an amulet of proof against detection and location? Or several dozen of those?
I'll have to take a look. I think something like that has crossed before my eyes, but we get a lot of merchandise from all over. Give me some time. I'll take a look. Meanwhile, shop around. Thrain seems like he needs to go somewhere and do something. So let him do that, and I'll get back to you in a few moments.
I tap on Thrain's shoulder and ask him if he needs any help.
Who?
Thrain.
You can't see Thrain. He's in the shadow plane.
I cast True Seeing, and then I walk over to where Thrain is and attack him.
No,
And say, do you need...
Thrain's been talking, so you know where he's at.
I messaged you, by the way, DM.
Alright.
And to your statement, you may help me with one thing. Not so much help me, because you are a different hand than I am. But maybe with you there, he'll listen. Aside from that, yeah, screw it. Come with me, Malin.
I just move to follow.
Wow, there he goes off again without
I know,
asking
right?
for help. What a dick.
Oh, and I'll
You have me.
put on a cloak I get from Glenn.
Okay.
What color is it, out of curiosity?
This one is actually a multicolored type cloak. It kind of changes color with the surrounding area, so picture like a cloak of Elvenkind, except a little more advanced.
Okay.
Let me
And
guess, it hides his blood flow.
Everything.
What a dick.
Mhm.
Did it just because of you. I got your message.
And we're in a bunch of undead creatures, so they probably have blood vision too. Yeah.
You're scared of a dead corpse.
I'm scared of being sucked dry by a dead corpse, yes.
Ho ho ho. Don't worry. Things that like to suck things dry are like warm-blooded creatures,
Wow.
cold fishies.
Wow. This conversation has gone really weird.
Duly noted. However, sharks do not concern themselves with the opinions of mosquitoes. Do well to keep that in mind.
Mosquitoes. Oh,
Ho
I get it.
ho ho. Ho 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 ho.
All right, kids,
Oh,
behave.
somebody just wishes they were a clownfish, don't they?
Aye, and a clownfish can still kill a mosquito. How sad is that? Bottom of the food chain, I'd say. Moving on. Come me.
Wow.
I have to say he's right, since sharks live in water and mosquitoes don't.
I wasn't really. You missed that whole thing. I was making fun of his joke, calling him a clownfish.
Oh no, I'm just being dense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Malin was like not paying attention to what you guys were saying and just chimed in at the bit
Oh.
because he thought it was cool.
I'll look at him like, what?
What the fuck?
I'll brush past, and I, for the record, Malin, am heading to a shrine or temple of Khan.
Okay. Easy enough to find him on 10.
Looks like I look over at Esperini. Looks like we're having to buy the gear again.
I hope you've got the 3 credit card.
There is a.
All right. Before I leave, I'll yell back, Glenn, supply these gentlemen with whatever they need. We'll open you a store in Gano, free of charge.
I am definitely good for that idea. Very well. Whatever they need.
Thank me later.
You say that.
Hey, that's awesome.
So,
Now in the town
when
you
we-
own. Go ahead.
So when me and Thrain are like 3 blocks from that building, I cast Detect Magic and look around, and then I turn to him and say, so you knew that guy before you went to sleep?
I did not hear you.
I detect magic around, and then I ask if you knew that guy before you went to sleep.
Oh, Glenn?
Yes, Glenn.
Ah, yes. He was a big part of taking down the 3 citadels. Also, his shop is where I first found a Night Fury, whom I hope to meet again before I kick the bucket, because that thing was awesome.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused when you were talking because it sounded the way you were asking him about how old he was, that you'd met him before we got sealed up.
Yes, you're standing actually, and if I can see the rubble or whatever it was the dragon.
Oh, it's long gone now.
Okay, well, where it was, that, and I'll point to whatever's there now, is where the Heroes of the Hearth began.
Meanwhile, Thorn, you get a message from a longtime associate. He's put you on some various assignments and stuff that have, he paid you handsomely, and they were worthwhile. He didn't care about your lineage, didn't give a shit. He just knew what your skills were and put them to use.
Magnus?
Very good.
It's Glenn, as you well know. He goes, I think I have a group of associates who, A, you might compliment, and B, could use some of your more unique skills.
And who are these associates?
Oh, I'm sure you've heard of them. They are called the Heroes of the Hearth. That name you definitely do know.
Yes.
For the long time you've been on the surface, you've heard that name over and over again. usually spoken in kind of a reverence and kind of an awe, almost as if like the people who speak about him give them extreme respect. And from all the activities you've heard them do, it's no wonder why they are spoken in such a way.
Are you saying they want to hire me, or you want to hire me to work with them?
I'm saying they could probably benefit from your skills. They're a little rough around the edges and have some issues, but I think an additional ally in their current struggles would be helpful.
Copy this. Well, if the price is right.
Who was that?
I said, well, if the price is right, of course I'll work with them. You've never disappointed me yet. Where do you want me to meet them?
Come to my shop.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Esperini, you do find he actually does have some boots of elven kind.
All right, cool. Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Thrain and Malin real quick. Malin, you notice Thrain is heading straight for the Temple of Karn.
Alright, I follow and sort of smile because, I get some prying in when he's doing whatever he's doing.
All right.
I also silently to myself think that this place is a little shabby and I should probably build a better one nearby.
Okay. Shabby shit. This thing is like a fucking palace type look. It's very well detailed. The architecture is awesome. I mean, to you, you may be like, oh, it's still shabby, but for the people of Montan, this is high class. As you walk in, there is a giant, like 12-foot statue of Karn in all his glory, in his plate mail, holding a giant spear, his shield with his symbol emblazoned on it. And he's just, he's got that proud paladin type look to him. And he's just standing there all proudly. You see a few people in here, a couple people sitting in pews and whatnot. You see a couple of the clerics, who you're guessing, just kind of wandering around, talking to a few people. It's not loud in here, as most temples aren't. It's more quiet reverence. But as soon as you step across the threshold, you can feel the divine power kind of emanating from this spot.
And I'll just go to the statue and I'll kneel and I will place my bow at my feet and begin a prayer.
Okay.
I'll move into the pews to do my praying, give him his time alone-ish with Karn.
Okay. Thrain, what are you specifically asking for?
God of my soul, your warden seeks your guidance, your counsel. It is the hour of now that I am in need. I cannot hope to lead without a beacon of direction. We have your sworn enemy Chronons on one side, whom I am told is pushed back and all but defeated, and a new power rising of the undead sort that seeks to become a god in some no doubt profane way. I seek to know what is your will, and it will be done through me and those who are with me.
As you kind of kneel in reverence and kind of close your eyes and just speak, your body feels strange, and you definitely feel like you're somewhere else. You can't explain it, you just feel like you're somewhere else. And you can actually feel the connection you have with Karn seem to strengthen to a ridiculous point, something you've never felt before. As you kind of take a quick peek and look around, uh, you're in what looks like a large plains area, and before you, you see a fortress you know the size of which you've never seen before. This thing is massive, and you see troops on the battlements. You see people moving around. You actually feel drawn to walk into the fortress.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm still wearing what I should be wearing, or if I'm wearing something else.
You're wearing everything. Nothing has changed.
Okay. I'll proudly walk to the portcullis or whatever it is for the keep, and smartass Thranewine. Is Roman home?
Warden, we have been expecting you. The Lord awaits you.
Please lead on.
The guards escort you up to the castle within it. You walk through. There are races of all kinds within this fortress. Obviously, Karn, doesn't care what race you are as long as you follow him. You can see, many races you've fought against and whatnot. You also see many races that you've allied with. As you walk into the castle itself, which is, I mean, I'd say castle, but it's like a fortress within the fortress. As you walk in, you hear practicing of, swordplay and whatnot. They walk you straight into the doors, and they lead you to a, lack of a better term, a war room. There you see the map of the world laid out before you, and you can see dots scattered all over the place. You can see one massive collection of dots in the area you know as Gundarok, I think it is. Let me check again. Yeah, Gundarok, the Orcs continent. And before you, the man himself, he's a spitting fucking image of him. You look at Karn. Warden, been a while since you've talked to me. You ask for help. What can I do for you?
My apologies, my lord. I have been busy, as I'm sure you no doubt know. I find myself in need of your guidance. I am the last of the heroes that you talked to, along with your friends, who now I know to be the embodiment of your will.
He smiles.
I have new companions now, but we need to know what to do as far as Chronons versus this abomination of a mage known as
Regnum.
I want to call it Rectum.
Yeah, I know, I was waiting.
Regnum.
His eyes
And
kind of
his
narrow
cult,
at
the
that name.
followers of Regnum.
Yes, apparently Cronan's kept many eyes focused on him, whether it was intentional or unintentional, and Regnum was allowed to move a bit more freely than he should have, or else we would have sent word earlier. He has become a serious threat and a strong problem for the denizens of the world.
Then he must be destroyed quickly. Is that your will?
His words in that letter were true. He does have them captive.
Though it pains me to say, my own life and earthly attachments do not hold a candle to the overall mission that is set before me by you. I swore unyielding allegiance. And if that means I have to suffer through that, then so be it.
We're limited within our scope. He has somehow managed to learn the rules of the game, and he is using them to his advantage. He's aware that we are unable to directly affect his choices. It was the will of Aso who so deemed that we are allowed to be there for our followers and those who wish to flock to us, but we are limited in how much we're allowed to do in order to prevent such things, as his will is law we must obey.
Then perhaps, my lord, you could grant me an audience with him, so that he may answer, or rather, I may question what it is he wants to do with this upstart.
He thinks for a second. Very well. The images in front of you just kind of fade, and you appear in what looks like a giant alchemical laboratory. You see an older gentleman, long white beard, big gray robes. You see him mixing some chemicals. Yes? Oh, Thrain, how are you?
I'll just stand or kneel there since I'll hit a knee,
Okay.
dumbstruck.
Oh,
Master
God.
of dragons, I am humbled in your presence.
Oh, jeez, I hate that. Stand up, stand up.
As you wish.
What can I do for you, Thrain?
I am told by my Lord Karn that there is an upstart trying, and apparently succeeding, to ascend to godhood, whereas the Devourer is all but defeated. I wanted to know the Lord of Gods' will or wisdom on the subject.
The gods have very specific rules that I have put into place. You notice his voice changes from a weird accent to a more formal, more, lack of a better term, noble type tone. I've decreed this because I have seen a few times, many centuries before, where when there was more allowances, there were more problems. You may have recalled a certain great war that happened.
Yes, Lord of Dragons, I am told of it, as one of your children has raised me to believe in abstaining from that course of action.
So, after that, I put some rules into place to prevent such issues from happening again. The mortals wish to destroy themselves, which unfortunately, no matter the race, they all seem to have that eagerness about them. Then it is the mortal's will. Regnum wishes to break the cycle and ascend himself. It's not against the rules, but there are things he must do in order to gain such titles.
And if you don't mind me asking, what would you have done? Be it your rules, your call. Would you have him ascend? Or would you have him killed?
Mortals are always given the chance to ascend. It's not that, many of us want to keep our positions, but if you have proven yourselves, some do so just by their actions, can be given the chance to join the Pantheon. He's trying to
And-
skirt that and take it by force. Not against the rules, he is allowed, but there are limits.
I will assume he is trying to take the Devourer's place.
Either that or he is trying to take someone else's place, and if he is trying to take one of those who are still have freedom of movement, then he must defeat them in combat. And at this point, he is powerful enough, he just might.
Hmm. Pronouns. Nathan. Nathan. He is your brother or child, forgive my ignorance, of the dead, correct?
Correct. The undead specifically.
I would assume maybe that is its target.
Makes the most sense. Nathan controls the undead. Pluton actually controls the dead itself.
Are your brother's sons, brethren, able to speak, or would they speak to a mortal on the subject?
Possibly. They are unique in their process of thinking. They take followers all the time, of course, but laws are laws. You are one of a handful of, and forgive the term, mortals who have been allowed access to the Pantheon for curiosity's sake.
And of that I am humbled, and question why you bother with a mortal like me. However, I must know, or excuse my impertinence, but if they will have a word with me, maybe you could talk to them. I would like to side with them and find out, maybe, if they know if he's after them.
He waves his hand and points behind you.
I'll look behind me.
You see what looks like a Dragir, very noble-looking Dragir. His symbol emblazoned. You could tell this is probably Nathan. Pluton. No, actually, he wouldn't go after Pluton. That's stupid on his part. Yeah, Nathan's the only one he's really going after. Obviously, I will not bring Chronons here. He stays gone.
Yes, your will is my own.
Nathan, bows in respect to Aso. Lord Aso, you called me here. I won't even ask why there's a mortal about. Worry about your own affairs, Dragir. This mortal has questions, and may be of assistance to you in your current predicament. Kind of piques Nathan's curiosity. Speak, mortal. Make it quick. I have things.
Thank you for this audience, Lord Nathan. I apologize for pulling you from whatever important things you were doing. We have Aso, my Lord of Dragons, has told me that the upstart, known as Regnum,
There you go.
wishes to take godship into the Pantheon by way of force, and the only ones that make sense is he who is stuck in a sarcophagus. And
He kind of chuckles
you.
at that one.
I don't see the gain of becoming what is stuck in the sarcophagus. I'll smirk. But if he decides to challenge you, I believe you have done a great job doing whatever it is you roll in. Because before this upstart, there was no challenge to you because you did your job right. I would like to keep it that way.
Yes. Regnum is going to become a threat to me, and From everything I've been able to ascertain of his progress, he does intend to take my spot.
Well, as I've pledged to Karn, and I will pledge to you now, Aso, and you now, Nathan, I will place the mission first, though he has people that may be very dear to you, and one of which very dear to me. If he must be stopped now, say it is so, and it will be done. I just seek the gods' wisdom on the matter. Attack now, and save the Pantheon from another battle, which I'm sure you've all been tired of since the upstart Chronons decided to have another one. And let the mortals handle this problem, because it is our problem. We allowed him to get this strong. It's our duty to put him down.
You nod. You will have assistance from my children, the Dragir, as much as can be offered. As of how you handle it, that is completely your call.
Understood, Lord Nathan. Thank you for your audience. I will turn back to Aso. I believe the best course of action is to sever the head of the snake before it gets a chance to become a hydra.
Acer kind of chuckles. That's a succinct way to put it. But yes, he will become a problem. But we will not, make no mistake, they are limited in their allowances. Nathan himself cannot prevent the attempted ascension of Regnum. And Regnum will not think twice about sacrificing followers in order to gain that ascension. That is part of the catch to his little play.
So, would eliminating his followers prevent him from ascending?
It would delay him. But make no mistake, Regnum is a powerful being nonetheless. His undead life has been long and drawn out due to Nathan allowing certain things. Who Nathan just kind of shrugs half-assedly.
Well, it is time Regnum found out who the true Apex was, and I'll smirk. It will be done. The immortals have no business in the affairs of gods unless they earn their place, and thinking one's importance is above any gods should automatically disqualify them. So I'll be sure to do that myself. With your blessing, of course.
You have it. Just tread carefully. He is not to be taken lightly.
Your will be done, Lord Aso. Lord Nathan, I will see to it. You keep your job. I'll smile.
You do, and I owe you one.
It's not just me who's doing it, but I thank you. Please, I have one of your ilk in my company. Perhaps you can give him guidance. He's kind of brain dead, as it were.
Poor Titan. Getting insulted and doesn't even know it.
That being said, with your blessing, of course, I take my leave, and Lord Karn, if you are still listening somewhere, I thank you for this chance. And I will pray reports to you as I can.
And go ahead.
If you see Sarah before I do, please ease her suffering.
They nod. As you end, you feel yourself back kneeling on the, hard stone floor of the temple, and as you look up, you just see the statue again. Malin, while you were there, nothing happened. It seemed like Thrain was just sitting there kneeling and praying. That's all it seems like he was doing the entire time. Then you see him kind of shake his head, come out of it, stand up.
I'll turn back to them. We have work to do. Tell everybody we meet at Glenn's if they've left. Tomorrow at noon. I have things to attend to.
Alright. I'll head out then. I guess your prayers were fruitful.
Oh, and I know I'm lying about this, but to boost his ego, Karn says you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up.
I smile and walk away whistling.
Okay. Meanwhile, Titan and Esperini, what are you guys doing?
Just shopping.
Yeah, pretty much. I just picked up the boots, cloak, whatever of Evan kind. I really don't care. Just something to help with stealth because that's my big hang up. So
You definitely want the boots. Maybe
Yeah,
get both. Why not just get both?
I don't think it double stacks, but
It
it'd be
does.
great.
Doesn't double stack. I mean,
And of course, if he happens to have the deck of wonders thing.
Don't you dare bring that into Monday.
Oh, I so want it. I want it. Do you
No,
have it?
this is a little different. This is a little different. It's
No,
not
this is a
the
different deck.
original one. This is something
I just
new.
don't want to play cards. I've learned my lesson.
I'll play cards. Tyler's like, I'm not scared of a
I
card.
learned it on Thursday, and I will never touch a deck of cards again.
It's like he's paranoid of mimics, and I have yet to bring a mimic into the game ever.
I actually have a plan with it if I do get one.
Let's
It's
see.
not. We can do that later. It's no big deal.
Just for fun. I just want to see if he actually has one. Nope.
That's fine. That's fine.
Thank
At least for
God.
now. No, this is a
Yeah,
much different.
worry
This,
about
this is a much different deck. It's a little more unique.
Yeah, it's more unique, not wild magic table ish.
Not death and
I don't
just
care. I
about
don't
every
want
other
nowhere
card.
near it.
Okay. The day passes. Thorn, you finally arrive at Glenn's, and Glenn looks at you. Thorn, please wait here. The others will arrive whenever they arrive. I have a feeling they will be meeting back up here.
Understood.
Feel free to look around.
Very well. And I proceed to look around.
Okay.
Watching people.
I will arrive 15 minutes before noon.
Okay. Everybody does get told. We'll make it easier. You guys all get told to meet back up at Glenn's by noon.
So, do you have any awesome armor or shields or anything?
What do you have right now?
I have a +2 plate armor, +2 shield.
Oh yeah, he's got better.
Yeah, I want all the best. I want the goodies. All the goodies.
Right now, he only has a +3 plate armor, and it's a little wicked. And then he's got a
It's a little wicked.
yeah, a little wicked. Just in design, it's a little more interesting. It's not the typical just normal plate armor. This has a more
That's okay.
unique pattern to it. And then he does have a +3 shield.
Ooh, I will take both of those. And what about weapons? All my weapons are only +2.
Jeez, you
Well,
need to get caught up.
except for my spear of destiny, which is amazing.
That spear. He does have a. Let's see. He does have a couple of +3 weapons as well.
Okay,
So yeah, you can just up
I'll
your stuff.
take everything.
Okay,
I'll just take everything. Just
Sure,
give me
why
all
not?
your best shit.
sure, why not?
We'll make it easy. I just need it. What do you need, bro? I don't know.
Just because I can.
I might need it. I just might need it. I don't know.
Thrain started a tab. I have to spend money now.
Yeah, I have to, kind of like when we go over to the clerics to see if they'll bless this stuff for us. Or if they might have some awesome weapons we could use.
Okay. We'll say you guys all finally meet back up at just about noontime in Glenn's. It's pretty empty. It's just you guys, and it seems like one other individual who just seems to be kind of looking around, not really paying attention to anything. Um, just one of those kind of window shoppers who's walking around.
The first time in a long time, I'll take off my mask for a minute and ask Glenn if he has a room where we can be private by magical or other means.
Of course, of course. I always have specialty rooms that are always available for those who are worthy enough to be allowed entrance. And of course, you guys are. But, as I told you, I have an associate that would like to join you in your quest, whatever one this may be this time.
Oh, please let it be crap, what was his name? Cal. Fuck, what I do with my notebook?
I don't know.
Oh, I forgot something. Damn it! I don't know where I put my notebook.
Mm,
Got a new
Whoever,
desk and everything. I don't know where anything is now.
whoever he or she or it is. Where is it? He, she.
He's already here, and he motions to the other individual that's just been wandering around. Thorn, please come forward. These are the heroes of the Hearth.
I come walking up, and I nod. Good evening, gentlemen.
Give a description of your
I
character.
am Thorn.
Yeah, give a quick description of
Um,
your character.
Well, my character sheet isn't in front of me.
Roll
Sorry
with it,
about
man.
that.
Just roll with it.
Okay, from what I remember that I wrote, he's a man that looks like he has no weapons. He keeps all his weapons hidden. He's drow. His hair dangles. I hate using my phone. His hair dangles down to his shoulders. He only pulls it back when he's in a battle. His face shows absolutely no expression. He has no. His face has no emotion. The only time he shows emotions is on the battlefield. Um, he's dressed in pretty much all black. Boots, slacks, whatever, armor is all black. He keeps, like I said, all his weapons hidden, and he looks pretty intimidating. He has scars all over his face. If he took his armor off, he is pretty much riddled in scars. But his scars add to his facial beauty, and that's about all I can remember. I think I pretty much covered it.
Good enough.
And I look to Glenn and to this man named Thorn. And what is it that qualifies you to walk amongst us exactly?
Um, Glenn said that you needed my expertise, and well, I've heard legends about you guys. Um, he says that you need me.
Which is your expertise?
Glenn speaks up. He's an assassin.
Ah, right. And I assume
Thorn
you
smiles.
are doing this for the money then.
I do it for mostly the money, but I also do dabble in other things, more than just assassin. But assassin would be my top number one skill. I've been hired for many things. Glenn hires me to retrieve items mostly. He tells me where they are. I go. Hold on one second.
Yes, some of the items you guys have actually purchased were due to Thorn here going and getting them from other sources.
Yes.
Very well. Titan,
Yes.
if he so much as looks at us the wrong way, kill him. Welcome to the team. Don't fuck it up.
Glenn just shrugs. You'll get used to him, Thorn. No worries. Please, let's all. I'll show you to the back room where you should be.
What's the name of the assassin again?
Thorn.
I didn't hear it.
Thorn.
Thorn. I look over at Thorn. I go, if you decide to kill him, let me know. I'll help.
Yes. Good luck. And
All right, children. All right, jeez.
And I smack
Man,
Thorn on the
I
back,
feel welcome
like smack
already.
Thorn on the back of on his back, and being like, just start laughing and walk off.
I'll
Glenn.
just look almost in disgust
Thorn.
and be like, "We don't kill everyone. We've had this discussion before today. Remember?"
Oh, as you're about to learn in this briefing, quite the contrary. But I digress. Shall we?
He walks you guys back to a room. You notice he pulls out a set of keys. One of them is a bluish gray kind of color, or at least it's kind of outlined in a blue gray kind of aura to it. You see him put it in the lock. You hear, shoosh, and then he opens the door. He goes, please, I have to close it behind you guys, and since I have a business to run, I have to be you guys.
Glenn, before we go, can I get some 500 gold worth of incense and 400 gold worth of ivory strips to work a legend lore divination?
Sure, why not? I'll go get some for you while you guys have your conversation. I'm the only one who has the key, by the way, so no one else can get in.
Thank you, Glenn. One last thing. If you could possibly get a hold of my hermit's brother, Balthazar, we will need of his kind as well.
I'll speak to him and see if I can get him.
Thank you. And I'll push through the door or portal or whatever the hell it
It's
is.
a door. It just opens up into like a conference type room. You don't see any windows or anything. It's just four walls. As you guys walk in, as soon as the last one of you walks in, you hear the door close and you hear that sound again. And you hear footsteps walking on.
Well, welcome, newcomer, and the rest of you. Big news. I am both happy to tell you and not so happy to tell you. Esperini, your idea of nonviolence cannot happen. The will of Aso himself deems it otherwise. It seems the god of gods deems this thing as a threat, and the god of your race, I'll point to Titan, Lord Nathan, is the one who is threatened, because Regnum seeks to take Nathan's place in the Pantheon.
Okay.
By force. However, if you would like to serve that thing, by all means, you can sit this one out. However, we are to help Nathan secure his place and prevent this upstart from causing any more chaos in the Pantheon. That is what was more or less told to me, and that is what we will do. Now, I figure if we move fast, that minimizes the casualties. One way we can battle him and buy some time is through attrition. Apparently, he needs a lot of sacrifices of his followers to attain godhood.
And
Which
so
there's
what is this? And so what is this threat you're facing?
It is a mage who has become drunk with power and has lived through centuries due to nefarious deeds, no doubt. He may or may not be, I am 90% sure, however, it is a lich. If you don't know what that is, what I've read up on it, it is a mage, magic user of terrible power that has conquered even death itself.
What I know what a lich is?
You've heard stories, and it pretty much matches up with what Thrain's saying. Liches are very dangerous adversaries because they were powerful mages before they died, and then when they crushed the threshold of death and became undead, they gained even more power because of it. They can live for forever at that point, and they are nothing but power hungry fiends who wish to gain as much power in however long it takes.
I've heard only stories of liches. I've never actually came across one, but I know they're not to be trifled with.
Well, aren't you lucky? Your payment will be whatever treasure we come across, if any, in this island. We will give you a cut. Savvy?
Sounds all right with me. Just show me where you want. Just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll make sure it happens.
Well, we work together as a unit, one team of one mind. If you have any comments, concerns, bitches, gripes, please bring them up. If I am not around, Esperini has been here besides me the longest, so you'll talk to him. Oh, and eventually you'll earn your place here, and if you wish to stay. That being said, anybody have any input?
While you guys are sitting there, around this table, just kind of looking at each other, really thinking over things, before you appears a map. It is a map specifically that you recognize.
Oh, good. So, if there's no any comments, concerns thus far, as previously stated, we will land and attack from here, taking over this little small foothold. That way our armies can amass there and attack from there and use this area as a staging ground, because we will need to, no doubt, have masses of forces, because I imagine for each ally fallen is a new soldier for him. So,
I do have a question. And you can see Esperini is not happy at this moment. So we are to fell whatever we see here and do the work for Regnum by sacrificing them with our own hands.
we are to deny him that asset by any means necessary.
But wouldn't that give him the same thing?
Technically, I think a sacrifice would have to be a ceremonial thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. However, in eliminating his forces, perhaps it will abstain him from his resource.
Forces are one thing. Militarized, you know what I'm referring to. If these are innocent people, why are we killing them?
They are already dead.
I sort of point at Titan. That's not really a problem, though.
I'm not dead.
Well, you're not. I thought you were like a demi.
I'm not dead yet.
Let me put it to you this way. The Dragir are not all the way dead. They have feelings, they have emotions, they are capable of thought and acting on their own accord. Versus a half-fleshed, shambling mess of bone and sinew who cannot think for themselves because an overlord tells them what to think.
I understand what you're saying. What my point is, what if he has more than just that? What if he has people that actually are followers that are not undead? Even if they, okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. If we find something that he has captured, we are supposed to kill it anyway because it's there?
No, if he has captured them, we remove them from the equation by getting them out, or hopefully it won't come to it, but If we have to take them down to prevent him from ascending, that is what must be done.
Aspirin at this point just stands up and just like walks away for a second, just rubbing his head.
Though you might not like it, it is what has to be done. Nobody likes the raw honesty of this kind of thing, but think of a couple people die, or 100, say, just throwing numbers out there, versus he ascends to godhood and does an unapproachable amount of damage to a lot of things.
How much did you share about your conversations with the gods?
Whatever I have said.
Okay.
If you want to ask more about it, I might tell you more about it, depending on your question.
No, I wouldn't know to ask the right question without out of character knowledge, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, from what you've been able to gather, is it seems like he may have had a, at least from Terrain's point of view, he might have had a conversation with the gods. That's what he seems to be hinting at when he's talking to you. Whether or not that's true, and maybe he was just going delusional for a minute, you're not real sure. But with his conviction, that's the way it sounds. So that would give you your one leeway to ask strange questions that wouldn't be metagaming, because the way he's been talking, the way he said, Lord Nathan, Lord Aso, they've ordered all this stuff. It sounds like he talked to them. Whether or not he actually did, who knows?
All right, so I'll ask him, why don't they step in and smite him with holy fire from the sky?
It seems that there are rules set in place after the Great War that gave birth to the Blood Plains, as you all know, saying that the gods cannot interfere as much as they used to. That mortals' affairs, or will be mortals' affairs, until it crosses the threshold, in which case it would be their affair, but also our affair too, because if we don't stop him, bad things are going to happen. The exact words, I believe, were, there are rules in place. It is not against the rules into power, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be accepted, nor wanted.
Then surely if he slays Nathan, who, and I turn to Titan, no offense, doesn't seem like the nicest person in the world, wouldn't he then have to follow these rules, lest he draw Aeos's wrath?
That's true. From what you
Nathan
were told, yeah, that's pretty much true.
Nathan has followed the rules and made a miscalculation on aiding the would-be new god come into lichhood, I believe. However, God didn't ask for help, but he wants it. And so did Aso, again, as gods do, as I'm sure you know, meaning with our Lord. They are very vague on what they will. They're very, you do what you want, but I'm telling you this because you know.
Yeah.
Goddamn gods and their cryptic answers.
So, okay, Esperini sits back down, but still not looking sated with these answers, and says, so, let me understand this correctly. You saw Aso and Nathan, the god of the undead, told you to kill his undead creation and all of its followers. Is that what I'm understanding?
Told me to help deny his, I guess you could say, creation, yes.
By
His ability
killing
to tear into.
his creation and all of his followers. I'm not going against you, Thrain. That's not what I'm doing. But think of it from my point of view. Are we doing the right thing by doing this? Or are we playing into Nathan's hand? Is Nathan the one that wants to become the next great devourer?
Doesn't make sense to me that he would want to do that, considering the Great Devourer cannot be killed at the moment because he's in a sealed sarcophagus in, well, we all know where it is. Plus, necromancy, undead, lichdom, island full of undead creatures, including dead grass, dead trees, everything like that. That would fall in two realms, one being Pluton, who is god of the underworld, fear, things like that, which didn't show to the meeting. Because I guess he doesn't perceive this lich as a threat, but Nathan did.
Okay, so from what I understand of all this, you're telling me that a lich is trying to force his way into godhood by killing a god?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And so this god that's apparently locked in um, who knows where. Um, what if this lich could get to the plane, if he is powerful as you say he is, could get to the plane where this other god is?
That would be
So so that god is here.
Chronons. If correct, did he not fall asleep out of game? Do the whole Howl of Elements thing?
Chronon's is still locked in. Technically, he's not on the prime material plane. He's just locked in a physical representation on the prime material plane of the prison he's actually in. He's really in like a god-like prison, so he's in god prison. But that's more of a physical representation in order to unlock the door.
But Malin has seen it, right? That's what I'm asking. Did he go through the whole thing to find me, or did he just after?
Yes, if I recall correctly. I can't remember. Been a while.
I'm not the one asking this question. It is the
That
new
was
assassin
Thorn.
guy we just hired. Yeah.
Thorn
Well,
has not been through it. No.
okay. Well, basically, there is a sarcophagus in the area called the Hall of Elements, which houses a spiritual prison for Chronon's Devourer, which he would need keys, which we all have taken from him in order to escape it. Now, I honestly couldn't tell you if this lich knows exactly where he is on the whatever plane he's on. But again, regardless of what he's doing, be it Chronons or becoming Nathan, doesn't matter what god he hopes to become, we must deny him that.
This
I
guy.
completely agree. Because if this lich gets godly powers, if he forces it, there's probably no stopping him. I can see I can see what why Glenn hired me, or Glenn introduced me to you. I would be more than happy to take this lich out for you.
Or there's one of us. Anybody else?
Espreen will just nod.
Be assured, my friend, unless it is the absolute last resort, I will abstain from killing anybody who does not need to be killed. You have that promise from me.
I have never had a problem killing a lich morally. I would only have hesitated because of the loss of your people. and any innocents he might have captured, because he seems to be kind of a jackass.
Of that, we can agree on. And you, Titan.
You know I'm always down for killing shit. I don't even know why you have to ask.
Put me in the
And
direction. Let
that
me
is
swing.
why. That is why, despite our spats, you still remain very dear to me.
Oh, that's
Big
just
on
awkward.
you.
Little bromance happening.
Well, now
I'll
that,
raise
we're,
an eyebrow.
now that we're here in Hidden, I would like to take a moment to try and cast Legend War on Sarah to see if that would give any useful information to us about her current location or anything like that.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, I also return the ring to Thrain.
Thank you. And I'll put it on my necklace.
You get a lot of lore about her, a lot of history about her. She is the first child to the king of the Fire Realm. She is the first mortal child born to the king of the Fire Realm.
Sorry.
All good. Her history is rather fucked up. She went through some tough periods. Her sister, quote unquote, which you learn through this knowledge, is actually just more like, they're so close that they consider themselves sisters. Went through some things, and Sarah saved her. Rather violently, she ended up turning the ones who were harming Veronica into ash. She eventually fell in with a dwarf named Duncan, who helped teach her the right ways. Eventually, she met Thrain and so forth, and they are now together. You do get a quick ping, and a very quick one, on the map you guys are currently staring at. It just pops up real quick and then goes away.
Where was that?
The castle-like thing on the main continent.
All right. I take the second set of belongings. I say everyone back up, and then I cast Death Ward on myself.
Okay.
Let's see what the name Regnum gets me. Casting Legend Lore a second time.
Okay. As you, let me see. What you basically get is he was a powerful wizard, who fell into the realm of necromancy and basically tried to learn all he could. He became one of those wizards that everybody fears. He was in it for pure power sakes. The more power he got, the more greedy he got, the more he wanted to, take that power. He eventually realized that his current form was not going to be enough to get him what he needed, and he sacrificed 10 other wizards to become a lich. He basically convinced them that this ritual will grant them all power, and what he did was really steal theirs. It turned him into a lich, and he has been living as one ever since. He moved to this continent to, move to Oric to get away from everybody, and to slowly build his forces. Over the next several thousand years is exactly what he did. The towns used to be full of people, and now they're only partially filled with people. Most of what you guys will probably run across are undead creatures. He's managed to kill giants and convert them, so he now has undead giants. Basically, he went on a huge undead rampage, and anything he killed, he quickly brought back under his power. He does have mortal followers he does have regular followers, people who are still alive, who are called clerics of Regnum. They draw their dark power through necromancy, and they are the ones who assist in maintaining some kind of control over the overwhelming odds of, the overwhelming undead forces he has. It does not give you his location, but you do get a hint that that same spot where Sarah is more than likely where he's at.
Well, that was quite a bit of learning. What do you guys think of the information?
I think we need to go see some clerics about blessing our weapons and give us some a little bit of an edge against these dead.
I completely agree.
But that's just me.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
As Tyne references his encyclopedic knowledge of battle techniques.
Yes, anything that goes against undead is always a good thing when you're going against undead.
My
Yes,
bow is
fire, some radiant damage.
My bow is radiant already. Yeah, you guys go do that.
Well, sorry, we're not all fancy like you, Thrain. And he walks off.
Yes, sometimes simplicity is best, but I prefer to be more. I'll smirk.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, so my wicked armor
Yes.
that I have now, like, why is it? Is it like just a wicked design?
It's just the design itself. It's still a +3 plate armor. But it's just the design itself looks a little more. It's a little more. Other people would call it ghastly. You find it kind of cool looking because it makes you more scary looking. I mean, not that you aren't, not that you weren't already. Just the design. You would think it's more evil terms, but this is actually just the way the design is. You find out if you ask Glenn. It was created by the Platinum Elves, which explains why it's so vicious looking, because all their weapons and armor tend to look about the same. So you're walking around with Platinum Elf armor.
Cool.
Get done what you need to get done. I will go meet with the bulk of our forces and give them what our plan is, and we'll go from there. Anybody who wants to come with is, of course, able to, but if you have other things to do, please get them done now.
I take it you're the leader, right?
I am the original, the last one. And then there is no leader here other than I make some of the recommendations.
Okay, well, where do you want me? What do you want me to do?
Stay with Titan. He can keep an eye on you.
Come along, little one.
Very well, and I will follow Titan.
Alright, and here we're going to take a quick 10-minute break for bathroom, food, whatever you guys need. And we'll meet back up and we'll go from there.
Okay.
That makes no. Oh man. Da-da-da.
train back.
I never left.
Topher, are you still there? Nope.
So for my first time playing a drow, am I doing okay?
Sure.
I've never actually played a drow, but play him as you want.
Just remember you have sunlight sensitivities.
Yeah, me and Will talked about that, sort of. I think he said that I've been on the surface long enough to where it doesn't bother me as bad, but it still bothers me.
Okay.
Something like that.
Might get you more food. You're good for a little bit. I'm back.
Okay. Forgot about one thing I need to take care of once Topher gets here.
I see you.
Out of game. Okay.
Okay.
Size already? It's only 10 on the East Coast.
Oh, don't glare. You gotta clip your nails, little one. No, you're not supposed to bite that, silly. No, you're not supposed to bite that. Hold on. Stop. Stop. You gotta tell him, though. Tell him. Tell him he's gotta be good. You gotta be a big brother. Yeah, you gotta teach him. Yeah, you gotta teach him.
Damn, this is a long Metamucil break.
And plate armor. It'll probably help if I didn't have myself mute.
All we
I'd
heard
say,
was plate armor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't realize it because I was like, "Why is it echo?" I was like, "Oh, I'm muted again." I'm gonna say, so do I get a bonus to intimidation checks for my wickedly designed plate armor?
Yes.
Nice. I like it. I like it. So I thought the heavy crossbow was a strength weapon. Apparently, still a dexterity weapon.
I'm back.
There he is. Or wait, no, is that Malin?
No, that was Esperini.
Both of us.
Oh, good. Before we start, Esperini, this one's for you, as promised.
Baby, come back.
Happy birthday, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Wait, what'd you
We
say?
may continue.
Oh, now we
Don't
all want to
send him
know.
anything. I told
Yeah, I
him
want to know.
I'd have a drink with him.
Oh.
Or for him, considering it's Monday, and he probably doesn't drink on Mondays.
Yeah.
You don't drink? You can't
Oh, I
trust somebody that
drink,
doesn't
but
drink.
I have to work in the morning, so no.
Well, a drink is different than having like 20 drinks, bro.
Oh, I know.
The 4 egg. 16.
Okay.
Well, shit. Dang.
But everyone's back, Mr. Master.
Okay. All right. You guys all, go your separate ways. As you guys get to the clerics, you find out that because your items are already enchanted, there's the possibility that replacing it with the holy power could cause an issue.
My spear is fine.
However, it almost seems as if the gods are working with you, and the high clerics come out as you guys go to whichever deity you choose, and they bring out weapons that are somewhat similar. So you can have +3 weapons that will cause extra damage to undead.
I mean, if they have some extra ones that we could just like donate to the church for, that I'm okay with that too.
All they ask is for a donation to the church, but these particular items that they hand you will be beneficial against fights against the undead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely make a donation to the church.
We turn to Thrain and ask him to open the bank of Thrain to the kindness of the churches.
We should have just Thrain Bank. Credit cards. Like Diners Club International.
That's what you guys got the badges for, man.
They're a credit card? No.
I mean, they should be. This whole town is here because of us. Well, me, but our name.
Wow. Just cut out everyone else's work. Like, you did everything yourself. It's okay.
No, you didn't. He's fine.
Throws axe into the wall.
Those who did help me are now gone, doing whatever it is they're doing. So
He's
Okay.
referring to Montan, not Gano. You guys helped with Gano,
Yes.
but Montan was
Montaigne.
saved long before you guys came.
Sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I was with the other army.
Yeah.
My bad.
A little busy.
I was a little busy coming this way for the other half of the army. My bad.
Pretty much.
So
You
yeah.
know, I was only following the orders I was given.
Yeah. So you can add to all those who need it or want it. Your weapons can now do. Okay. Your weapons can now do additional damage to undead. It's 3D whatever of the weapon of your choice. Only one weapon though.
Only one.
Yeah, you gotta
You says
pick.
it's a 3D whatever.
Yeah,
So
so like if you pick a crossbow, it would be whatever damage the crossbow does, but it would be extra damage on top of what it normally does by itself.
okay. So my battle axe so it'd be 3d6.
Yeah, so you do an additional 3d6 damage with your battle axe against undead. All right. Well, Titan is getting his upgrades. Malin, what are you
I'm
doing?
already done.
Ah, okay. Malin, what are you doing?
I'll honestly head to the Church of Karn and try to get the same thing.
Okay.
Something designed to kill undead.
What's your weapon of choice?
Battle axe.
You get one.
Yeah, boy. Got them battle axes going. Clink, clink.
Yeah, you get one. It's a +3 battle axe. That also does an additional 3d whatever. I can't remember off the top of my head.
6.
Yeah, 3d6 damage to undead.
I will also ask them about what's the term? How to kill a lynch. Yeah.
Um, Good question. They actually give you an answer to that. They say that the only way to truly kill a lich is to find its phylactery and destroy it. And they tell you that's the toughest part is because a phylactery can be anything. Anything the lich has so determined is what it is. It could be a urn, it could be a paperweight, it could be a sword, it could be anything.
I have a feeling this guy's a dick and keeps it right with him. Because he's that sure of himself.
Don't know.
I turn and say, do you think Nothin would know?
They say possibly.
All right. That's something to talk to Thrain about then.
He would have been the one to allow the change, so he would probably know.
Yeah, that's something I should talk to Thrain about. Thank you for your assistance and your knowledge, wise elders. And I head out.
Esperini, what do you do?
I will send it to you. No. So is there a Church of Blazil?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's one of the major ones.
All right, I'll go to that, and instead of asking for the weapon blessing, I will just want to talk to one of the high clerics there if possible. Now remember, I'm really, you know what class I am, so blah blah blah.
Yeah. The cleric approaches. What can I do for you, my child?
What is? Hold on. What is Blazil's stance on murder?
It's a very slippery slope. He is not a big fan of it due to the implications just in the word alone. But if it is moving towards the necessary goal of the protection of others, there are some allowances made.
Some.
Some. Contrary to what many warriors and whatnot will tell you, you don't have to kill everything in order to ensure survival.
Thank you. That is all I needed to hear.
Not.
And and I do need to see. Can I pick up some healing potions before we go?
Glad someone thought of it. Yeah, you actually managed to pick up.
Just whatever you can. Nothing. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say you pick up a couple of greater restoration or greater healing